next guest, Kristy Mackenzie, endured an unimaginable twist of fate when she and her husband, Andrew, were in a near-fatal accident. The couple miraculously survived, but when Andrew woke up in the hospital, they faced an entirely new ordeal. Take a look.
I remember the day that I met Andrew. I was 16. I knew he was the one. We've been married almost 38 years. Last year, Father's Day, we had a nice picnic with our family. That's when our whole world came crashing down. We got on our motorcycle. We headed home. The last thing I remember is waving to our daughter and granddaughter. When we turned, someone ran the stop sign. Neither one of us remembers the accident, but it was the scariest day of my life. I had 7 broken ribs, 3 places in my back, my scapula, a broken right hip, a mild concussion. Andrew was airlifted. He had internal bleeding, multiple broken bones. He had a concussion. He had a brain bleed. I just held his hand and I tried my best to put on a smile. He knew who I was, but he had this blank stare. What was scary is he thought it was 1993. He would not know our whole life that we've built together. That was just horrifying to me. I had to somehow get him that back.
Tam fam, please welcome Kristy and Andrew Mackenzie to the show. Watching you both watch that. Kristy, you said to me it was a nightmare. It started as a nightmare.
It sure did.
And look at us now is what you said.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. So you said you're married 37 years. You have 2 daughters. Lorelei's 32. Amanda's 30. I said, there's no way because you look 30 and 32. And you have grandchildren. Your love and bond prior to this accident so strong. The kids used to say it was gross because all you did was hold hands is what they told me.
They do.
They're just this affectionate, loving couple. You've been babies together. Mm-hmm. After the accident, you, Kristy, were sent to a local hospital. He was airlifted, which neither one, in 2 different places, you were aware. He was not.
He had no idea.
He was not. So when you were reunited at the hospital, how did you learn that his memory, was it a memory loss?
Oh, yes. When he came to, they said, they asked him what date it was. He had no clue. He asked for me. He knew his wife. So
do you remember anything about the accident?
I don't remember the accident at all. I remember processing to come home that day. I don't remember getting on the motorcycle or anything.
Nothing. So now what was it? They say, what's the year? He says 1993. Why wouldn't doctors just say, well, he's disoriented. He was just in a near-fatal accident. How did they know it was something more?
They told me that he was going to be okay, and they kept telling me that. But they could not tell me if he would remember the last 29 years that he doesn't remember.
So there were no guarantees?
No.
And
none.
You said in your video diary, you went into action. You're like, I'm going to help him.
Absolutely.
What did you do?
I begged, I pleaded for us to be in the same room. I knew our love. We'd been through so much before. When we got married, I had a stroke due to birth control. In 2016, he battled prostate cancer, but I got him through that. Yeah. This was another hurdle we just had to get through.
After you made that request, within 24 hours, you say Andrew's memory started to come back miraculously.
It was amazing. I knew. I kept telling them this would happen. Within 24 hours, when we got in that same room, he looked over and asked me for a mooch. That's how he asked for a kiss.
I was like, what's a mooch? So you asked her for a mooch?
I asked for a mooch.
He asked for a mooch.
And I knew he's coming back. It's all coming back.
So you were in the hospital, and one of the things that you said, that you vowed to Andrew, that if he made it along, that you were going to marry this man again. That your words were, I'm going to marry this man again.
Absolutely.
And so you know her plan, your memory starts coming, the pressure's on now to get married again.
I know the plan, the pressure's on. We'd been wanting to renew our vows for a couple years. Yeah. So on our family beach vacation, it was a perfect time. And I popped the question.
Oh, that's you popping the question. On one knee again.
I don't know how he even did that.
How long was this? How long was this after
About 2 months.
So 2 months after his memory loss, nearly dying, you got on your knees, you prayed, and now you're at the beach getting proposed to.
And
Did you say
I couldn't
yes
believe
again?
it. Absolutely, I did. Yes.
And then 2 days later, you got married. That was fast. You moved fast, buddy.
Short span.
When we saw your story, I was just like, it's one of those heartwarming things. And my team said, we want to do something for them because memories matter. You know, there's nothing like looking in a book and reflecting on your life and the love and the joy that family brings, all of that. So our friends at Artifact are going to turn your life memories into a personal podcast. So here's how this works. You will talk with a personal interviewer, not Tamron Hall, but someone else who does it as good as I do.
As good as you.
And then Artifact is going to edit your story into a studio quality personal podcast. So this
amazing.
is the beginning of your story so that you can share the story of how you met when you were 16, how you met again in that hospital room, and everything that happens years later because you've been through so much.
Thank you
and
so
you've
much.
survived so much. And that's not all. Year after year, your family, including Lorelai and Amanda, will be able to tell a new chapter of their life too. So it keeps building and growing with your family. You'll build a home for your family stories with Artifact together. It's a Lifetime Family Stories membership worth $5,000.
Wow, thank you.
And all of you will be able to add. So there you are. It's how we met and how we met again. And your family will be able to create this lasting podcast for generations to hear this
That's
beautiful
remarkable.
Story.
Thank you so much.
So thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for reminding us of love and what prayer can do. Kristy, Andrew, and the family, thank you. And thank you to our wonderful friends at Artifact for this phenomenal gift.